Hello class, and welcome to Notes 3.4, Percents as Fractions and Decimals. Today's standard is NS 1.3. Today we will be turning percents into both fractions and decimals. And our only vocabulary word is percent, a ratio whose denominator is 100. So when you write it as a fraction, you can think of it as a ratio over 100, a number over 100. Okay, teacher example 1, pencils down. Write the percents as decimals. So, easily enough, all I need to do is move my decimal point 2 places. Now, since this one already has a decimal point in it, and when we turn into a decimal, we're actually making it smaller. So, you're going to go 2 places to the left. You're dividing it by 100, 2 places to the left, and you end up there. This number does not have a decimal point in it, so you need to add it in at the end. So if you ever don't see one, it means it goes at the end. Again, we go 2 places to the left, because we're always dividing by 100. Remember, percent means per 100, so you're dividing by 100. Problem C, there is a decimal point, so we need to go 2 places to the left, and we end up here. Should be simple enough. The one thing you want to watch out for is that you always move to the left. These problems seem to be easy enough, but a lot of students here get confused and write 48. You want to be careful and make sure you move your decimal point to the left when you're turning a percent into a decimal. And you can think of Beyonce and think of her song, to the left, and use that as a little trick to remind you, percent to decimal is getting smaller. Teacher example 2. You're running for ASB Vice President in the election. 250 students vote, and 64% of the votes are for you. How many votes do you get? What we need to do is we're trying to find out what 64% of 250 is. When I think of, I know I'm multiplying, because anytime you see of, you want to multiply. I need to turn my percent into a decimal. 64 hundredths, multiply my numbers together, and I end up with 160. This is a word problem, so of course I need words in my answer. 160 votes. Okay, why don't you go ahead and try a few of these on your own. Be careful with number 1. We do have that of in there, so we know we're doing multiplication as well. Go ahead and try them out. Press play when you're ready to begin. Let's take a look at number 1. We have 92% of 20. And to turn 92% into a decimal and then multiply it by 20, and I end up with 18.4, or 18 and 4/10. Number 2, moving my decimal point 2 places to the left, 2 and 6/100. Number 3, moving my decimal point 2 places to the left, 475,000. And number 4, again moving my decimal point 2 places to the left, I end up with 8 thousandths. So you want to be real careful on that one. That's another one that tends to have a lot of mistakes. Teacher example 3, turning percent into a fraction. We know percent means per 100, so you're writing your fractions over 100. The only thing that makes it tricky is when you have a percent with a decimal. So I can turn that percent into a regular decimal, then reading the place value, that we've got tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and 10 thousandths. So I put that 48 over 10,000. And then I do need to simplify. An easy way of doing this is writing it out using factors, and then crossing out the common factors. Okay, with the common factors crossed out, I'm left with a 3 in the numerator and 4 5s in the denominator, which would be 20. Excuse me, which would be 625. So I have 3 over 625, and that is simplified all the way. Problem B, 175%. Again, a percent is out of 100. Right away I can tell I have an improper fraction, so I will end up needing to simplify. 1 and 75/100. I can divide both of those by 25, and I end up with 1 and 3/4. Part C, again, I have that decimal point, so that's where I tend to make my mistakes. The easiest, again, would be to turn it into a decimal, just like you did on problem A, or knowing that if the 3 would be over 100 Adding the 6 would put it over 1,000. So we can see that here. Okay, again, writing out my common factors. Now when I've crossed out my common factors, I end up with 3 times 3, which of course is 9, 2 times 5 times 5 times 5, which is going to be 250, or 125 times 2, which is going to be 250. It is now simplified all the way. I do have my final answer. Go ahead and try a few of these out on your own. Watch out for the problems with decimals. That's where you're likely to make your mistakes. Go ahead and press play when you're ready to begin. Okay, we've got 78 over 100, divide them both by 2, and we end up with 39 over 50. 84 hundredths of a percent. Remember, we need to put that, spread that out, so you want to be real careful that that is going over 10,000. So as I take a look here, I've got 84 over 10,000. Divide them both by 4, and I end up with 21 over 250, or 2,500. So you want to be very careful there. 135%. Already I know a percent out of 100, so I'm going to end up with a mixed number. 1 and 35 over 100. Divide them both by 5, and I end up with 1 and 7 over 20. Problem number 8. Again, you're watching out for that decimal, so that means you're going to add another 0 into your denominator. Divide them both by 4, and we end up with 23 over 250. Okay, go ahead and begin this quiz. Turning percent into a decimal, watch out for the negative and for the decimal point. Turn percent into a fraction. Make sure you simplify all the way, of course. And lastly, copy and complete the statement with less than, greater than, or equal to. Remember, on each side, of does mean to multiply. Okay, have a great day.